now today's adventure of Outer Scope 2, The Torn Page.
Take care of it.
Willie, Eleanor, and Henry have gone to Tia Rosa's house for an important clue. She has given them an old map that looks like the missing page in Sailor Bill's diary.
If you didn't.
Okay, let's hit old Outer Scope 2 and head for a rendezvous. Oh, nuts. I just can't remember that word. Our meeting with Cynthia and Edgar.
Right, Henry. I think this is it. Once we match that map page with the diary, I think we'll know exactly where to go.
I sure hope so. It's been a long road since we first set out for Montauk Point and the Shinnecock Village. Bye-bye to you, Rosa.
That's him. That's Dr. Davis.
I don't know, Bob. I mean, I just have this feeling that the kids are close and we're gonna find him, you know?
I sure hope so, because my feet are killing me.
I just got this feeling.
Dr. Davis, remember me?
Hello there, Adrian. How are you? Long time no I haven't seen you. You and your friends come to Jumper.
Sure are. What a beautiful folk.
Yes, it's Cinderella's funking coach. Now, young man, can I do something for you?
I think so, Doc. This is Cynthia and Edgar. They spoke earlier on the phone with you. They're looking for a lost medallion.
Oh, yes, I remember. I am sorry I had to cut you short, but you can see what I had to get ready for.
I understand. Can you talk a little while now?
Sure.
Well, Chung Bo Fong, the sailmaker's grandson, told us your grandfather was searching for Sailor Bill.
Yes. Did he ever find him?
Hey, it's them. Let's sneak up on them and don't let them see us.
Kids, I like to help, but it was so long ago. Let's see. If I remember correctly, the medallion wasn't really lost. Now that I think about it, Grandfather's old friend.
Sailor Bill?
Yes, Sailor Bill gave the medallion away because he was very sick and thought he was dying.
Do you know where he found Sailor Bill?
Gee, I don't know. I was just a kid then, probably younger than you. It's hard to remember everything.
Do you remember who Sailor Bill gave the medallion to?
No, but there is one thing I do remember.
What's that?
It had something to do with a treasure map and a diary relating to the medallion.
That's it!
What was it?
Well, Grandfather said his old friend told him the secret of the care of the medallion was tied up with that diary and a copy of the map.
We have the diary, see?
And we have the map, too. But we haven't discovered any secret yet.
Of course, the map's with Willie, Eleanor, and Henry.
But if the secret's with the diary, maybe we don't need the map.
I know he said a copy of the map and the diary.
Well, that must be it. We must need them both together.
Hey, looks like a page is missing here.
Yeah, we saw that, too. Remember, Cynthia? Willie noticed it when we found it in the attic.
Yeah, but then we found the map and thought that was all we needed.
Hey, I wonder what this means. The only clue that I will send, X marks the beginning.
That's a clue.
Sure it is. So what does it mean?
I don't know. The X on the map was at Shinnecock Village, and it was in the beginning, just like it says. But I think Dr. Davis and Cynthia are right. We need the map and the diary together. We've got to link up with the other kids in Chinatown. I want to see that map again.
Now, don't tell me you kids are running off before I even get my float in the parade.
Don't worry. We'll stick around for that.
Sure. Boy, what a day this has been.
Yeah, chasing off.
Sure was. Can we help you move this out on the street, Dr.
Yes, indeed. I'm just about ready to go. If you young men will just help me.
Did you hear that?
Yeah. I wish we would have gotten that map the first time we tried.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Well, come on. They're going away. We got to trail them.
No problem. Look, we don't have to ever trail them again.
What are you talking about? Is this another one of your dumb ideas? You
Now
can
listen, okay. The map they got, the treasure map, right?
Yeah, right.
And the kid said that the X marks a spot at the Shinnecock Village.
Yeah, so what?
So, what does an X on a treasure map mean?
Oh, hey, the Shinnecock Village. You're a genius. Let's go and try to get there before them. Okay.
Next time, Wendy and the Medallion.
This is Woody the Spoon with some information about ways to cook with imagination. It's using your head when you don't have a lot to make the most of the little you got. In the snowy Swiss winters, cheese got hard and old, so fondue was created to bring it in from the cold. Some Swiss Americans blend a pound of aged cheese with a tomato taste that's sure to please. Now get a loaf of crunchy bread. French will do, or Italian instead. A teaspoon of oregano, a dash of salt and pepper too, and before I forget, get a grown-up to help you. 2 teaspoons of cornstarch to make it thick, and a cup and a half of tomato sauce. Get it quick. Get yourself a grater to shred the cheese. Rub it up and down, it grates with ease. Heat the sauce and spices, that's the next to do. Mix the cornstarch and cheese, add them in too. Cut the bread in pieces with a crust on each chunk. Put them on a plate till we're ready to dunk. To keep the fondue melted, put it on a low flame. Grab a long fork and state your claim. Jab some bread and swirl it in the fondue. When it's covered with cheese, you're ready to chew. Now don't burn your tongue, let it cool down a while. When you pop it in your mouth, you can't help but smile. Delicious, magnifique, Swiss American fondue!
And now for the big job hunt. Starring Max, the Marvelous Machine, and that villainous varmint, Long John Spoilsport.
Long John Spoilsport is my name. Sabotaging the job hunt is my game. All of you out there who are playing along will soon be singing a very sad song. So here we go, my fine feathered friend. You'll see a lot of my rottenness before this show ends.
And now for the host of our show, Sue Taylor.
Hi, kids. Welcome to the Big Job Hunt. Our contestants today will be from the Poughkeepsie Middle School and from the Columbus School. Hi, Max.
Have you heard the news?
No. What?
Varna's going to Hollywood. She's going to be a big star in a new series. You see, the RRL sued for equal time, and we won our case.
The RRL?
The Robots' Rights League. We fight discrimination against robots wherever it rears its ugly head.
Very commendable.
I'll say it is. Anyway, there was an audition, and Varna won the leading role.
That's great. But what will it do to your relationship?
Maybe I'll go out there, too. I think I'd cut quite a cute figure in movie land.
I'm sure you would, Max.
No. That cannot be. I made Varna. She belongs to me. She'll never be on that show. Come on, Kronos. It's time to go. Yeah.
Now, Max, let's pick today's contestants. First, from the Poughkeepsie Middle School, we have...
Gene Sheridan. Brian Parkinson. Charlene Faircloth.
And from the Columbus School, we have...
Peter Fanelli. David Cooper. Yolanda Santiago.
We're glad to have you with us. Now, will each of you tell us your names and what you would like to do when you grow up, starting with Poughkeepsie Middle School. Jean?
Eugene Sheridan. I'd like to be a journalist.
A journalist. And Brian?
Brian Parkinson. I'd like to be a lawyer.
Lawyer. And Charlene?
Charlene Faircloth. I would like to be a pediatrician.
Pediatrician. Thank you very much. Now let's hear from Columbus School. Peter?
My name is Peter Fanelli, and I'd like to be a veterinarian.
Veterinarian. And David?
David Cooper, and I'd like to be a chemist.
Chemist. And Yolanda?
Yolanda Santiago. I'd like to be a nurse.
Thank you very much. Now, contestants, please listen carefully to the rules of the game. The object of the game is to guess the mystery job. Max will pick the categories and the questions. Questions are worth points. At the end of the round, the team with the most points gets a chance to see a clue and to guess the mystery job. Now, for you kids who are playing at home, I've got a word of warning. Watch out for Long John Spoilsport. He'll be up to his old and dirty tricks, hard at his habit of trying to confuse you. So watch out. It's time for our first question. Max, let's have a category. Category is potluck. Thanks, Max.
You're welcome.
This question is worth 10 points. Many kinds of clothing worn in the United States come from other cultures. What is a kimono, and where does it come from? A Japanese robe. B, a Chinese coat. C, a Hawaiian shirt. Or D, a Spanish hat. Yes, Bryant.
A Japanese robe.
That's right. The answer was A, a Japanese robe. In Poughkeepsie Middle School, you now have 10 points. Now let's move on to our second question. Are you ready, teams?
Yes.
Let's have a category, Max. The category is the arts. Thanks again, Max.
Sure.
This question is worth 10 points. This woman was the first Native American prima ballerina to dance with a major ballet company. Her name is A, Sacagawea, B, Buffy St. Marie, C, Pocahontas, or D, Maria Tallchief.
It's B. It's B.
Yes, Jean.
D.
That's right. The answer was D, Maria Tallchief. She was a prima ballerina, and she is best remembered for her role in The Firebird. The score is now Poughkeepsie 20 to Columbus 0. Poughkeepsie's leading.
I'm a little worried. I just called Varna, and she's not home.
She probably just went to the store, Max.
Maybe Spoilsport.
Don't be silly. I don't think Spoilsport wants anything to do with Varna, not after the way she handled him before.
You're probably right. But with Spoilsport, you never know.
There's no way I'd let you go. You're in for a lot of woe.
Spoilsport, won't you ever learn? I'll outsmart you at every turn.
Oh, no. Oh, ah!
Okay, Max, and now for some more questions.
All right, here they are.
Thanks so much. Now, panelists, I'm going to ask you 5 true or false questions. Each question is worth 5 points. The first question is, an agronomist studies the movements of planets. Yes, David?
False.
He studies soil use and crop rotation. That's right. Number 2. Number 2. S.I. Hayakawa, a former college president, was elected senator from California in 1976. Yes, Charlene?
False.
I'm sorry, the answer is true. He is also an expert in semantics, the study of word meanings and origins. Number 3, the word Canaveral, as in Cape Canaveral, Florida, comes from the French. Yes, David?
False.
That's right. Canaveral means sugarcane field. That's right. Canaveral means sugarcane fields in Spanish. Number 4, Andrew Young is presently Secretary of State appointed by the President of the United States. Yes, Bryant?
True.
I'm sorry, the answer's false. He is the United States Ambassador to the United Nations. And number 5, the first printing press in the New World was located in Mexico. Yes, Peter?
False.
I'm sorry, the answer is true. It was used as early as 1544. The score is now 20-10 in favor of Poughkeepsie.
I won't let you go out west. Of all my robots, you're the best. You must stay and work for me. We'll wreck Max, just us 3. Yeah.
So long, boys. I can't miss my plane. Here's hoping we don't meet again. If we do, I hope you'll know not to try to stop my show. Yeah, ha, ha.
Okay, Poughkeepsie School, you are ahead with 10 points, so you get the first crack at today's mystery job. Keep your eyes on Max's eye. Okay, Max, show us the clue. Okay, panelists, remember you can discuss it with your teammates before answering, but you only have 10 seconds to name the mystery job. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Yes, Bryant?
Cartoonist?
Excuse me?
Cartoonist?
Cartoonist? What do you think, Max? I'm sorry, it was a good try, but a little off the mark. Now, teams, we're going to move on to our second and final round, the super bonus question. This question is worth 50 points. The team that gets this right wins the final chance to see a clue and to name the mystery job. Okay, teams, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's have a category, Max. The category is history. Thanks, Max.
Sure.
This lawyer was a longtime member of the NAACP and the first black man to become a United States Supreme Court Justice. Yes, Brian?
Langston Hughes?
Well, Max? Well, I'm sorry, the answer is D, Thurgood Marshall, who was appointed to the Supreme Court in 1967.
Thoughts?
Score is still now Poughkeepsie leading with 20 points. Okay, Poughkeepsie School, this is your last chance to see a clue and to name the mystery job. Remember, if you guess incorrectly, Columbus School will get the last opportunity to name the mystery job. Okay, Max, let's see the clue. Okay, panelists, remember you can discuss it with your teammates before answering, but you only have 10 seconds to name the mystery job. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, One of you answer. Yes, Brian.
Dressmaker?
That's correct. The job was a fashion designer. Congratulations, Poughkeepsie Middle School. You just won the big job hunt. Coco Beale is one of the top designers for Vogue patterns. Let's see what the fashion industry is all about. Roll it, Max.
My name is Coco Bell. I was born in Japan. I'm fashion designer for Vogue pattern. I design clothing for women across the United States and other countries in the world. When I sketch, I know exactly what I want. At that time, I know exactly what kind of fabric should be, what the color of fabric should be, what the trim should be. Then I explain to my sketchers, and we discuss the elements that need to be added before the pattern can be made. A little Peter Pan color. The next thing I have to do is select a fabric which the dress will be made from. This is our fabric library. One important thing I look for when choosing a fabric is not only the color, but also the type of material the print is on. What I'm doing now is I'm selecting fabric for the sundress. Should be cool and colorful. This is our pattern room where all our designs are made and tried out. Hi, Rosary. One of the important things in the pattern industry is that this garment can be sewn without too much difficulty by the average person at home. This is Vogue pattern catalogs. This goes into fabric stores and department stores. I design about 30 new designs every month. So, Joe, what do you think? What can we do to fit on her?
Well, I like to take in the high waist.
Here in the fitting room, we try on each garment on the model to see if it fit properly on the human's figure, because sometimes the garment looks so beautiful, then you can't move your arm. So we have to study all direction on the human's life. Do you like this?
I like it.
Fashion designers have to know a proportion, amount of color coordination. From total look, you have to know. As a child, I was always very interested in art field. When I completed high school, my mother suggested that I should go to fashion field because if I have to have a skill to have independence, so I went into design. It's a lot of fun.
Bum, 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 hooray for Hollywood.
Max, you know I can't stand your singing.
I'm just happy. Varna just called from the airport. She's all right.
I told you she would be okay, Max.
No, Spoilsport and Kronos tried to stop her from going, but she got away.
That Long John will stop at nothing. Well, I hope her show is a success.
Oh, it will be. She can't miss. Wow, the Varna Variety Hour.
That's enough, Max. It's award time here on the Big Job Hunt, and we'd like to present the Max Trophy to Poughkeepsie Middle School. And to our fine runners-up, Columbus School, we'd like to present the Mini Max Trophy.
Who would want a trophy of Max? That moronic mass of metal and wax. Here's the prize you should possess. A trophy honoring my evilness.
Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you all right here next time on the Big Job Hunt.
I'll be back, you wait and see. Bringing a bag full of badness with me.
Hi, kids.
It's the old black cat here to tell you where everything's at. About monkeys, zebras, and elephants, too. There's a bebop favor especially for you. One day, a worm crawled out of his hole and complained about his life to a nearby frog. The frog listened and then told the worm that he was no ordinary frog. He said he had magic powers and could grant a number of wishes. The worm was delighted. First, he wished for wings, so he wouldn't have to crawl around on his stomach. And zap, he had wings. Then he wished for legs, so his wings wouldn't drag on the ground. And zap. Next, he wished for a mane, and a lion's mane was his. The wishing went on and on and on and on and on until the worm looked like anything but a worm. Just as he was about to make still another wish, the worm's mother called out that dinner was ready. Quickly, the worm went back to his hole. But because of his mane and wings and things, he could not fit into that little hole. That meant no dinner. Now guess what his last wish was? To be just as he was before.
Come on along, we're gonna have some fun. Come on along and join us. Delicious hits in a little bowl of vegetable soup. Get right in to your vegetable soup. Delicious hits. Get right in, you're gonna have a fun. Get right in, come on and right us around. Get right into the vegetable soup. Come on along and join us. Delicious hits. Come on along, we're gonna have some fun. Come on along and join us. Delicious hits in a little bowl of vegetable soup. Get right into your vegetable soup. Delicious hits. Get right in, you're gonna have a fun. Get right in, come on and right us around. Get right into the vegetable soup. It takes all kinds of vegetables. It takes all kinds of vegetables. It takes all kinds of vegetables to make a vegetable soup.
And now, today's adventure of Outer Scope 2, Wendy and the Medallion. The kids are all back together again and flying back to the Shinnecock village where they think they will find the medallion. Dr. Davis told them they needed to put the map and diary together to solve the puzzle. And Tia Rosa's map turned out to be the missing page that Sailor Bill had torn out of the diary to protect the medallion. Finally, the puzzle pieces are coming together.
Here, Henry, look. Let me show you how it fits.
Boy, that Sailor Bill sure was clever.
Right, but we haven't found it yet.
But the Shinnecocks have it, don't they? It's right there on the map at the X. Isn't that right, Willie?
Right, Henry.
That's what we think. But who among the Shinnecocks? And this is still there.
That's just it. It could be with anybody. Mr. Cuffy, Wendy's grandmother, even Wendy herself.
I don't think it's Wendy, but I'm sure either Mr. Cuffy or Wendy's grandmother can lead us to it.
Nothing quite like early morning out here. Is there, Wendy?
It's the best time. Just think how many mornings the Shinnecock people have seen here.
It's a good place to live.
It sure is.
Did I ever tell you about my great ancestor, Paul Cuffy?
He was a preacher, right?
He was the most famous Indian preacher ever lived. You know what wonderful speakers our people are? Well, he was one of the best. People came from as far away as Brooklyn just to hear him preach. Reverend Cuffy devoted his life to the Shinnecock people. And when he died in 1812, he was buried right here.
Yeah, I've been here before, but I didn't know why it was so important.
See those railroad tracks over there? Well, in 1870, the railroad wanted to run its tracks right through here. Right through the Shinnecock burying ground. But the people made such a fuss, they forced the railroad to bend the tracks. And the most important reason is that their favorite preacher, Reverend Cuffy, was buried here.
Hard to believe people could be so thoughtless. Imagine running a railroad through someone's most sacred place.
It's just another way some people have of showing disrespect for people and the earth. Remember the medallion the kids were looking for?
I sure do.
Well, that's the same thing. To the people that made the medallion, it was sacred. To others, it was just gold to be melted down, destroyed.
I guess that's why the medallion's so important. It reminds us about the precious values in life.
That's right. And how careful we need to be so that we don't lose them.
I wonder a lot about that medallion. Whatever did happen to it? I'd sure like to see it, just once.
Well, maybe you can. I have an idea that's why your grandma wants to see us.
Really? Grandma's always full of surprises.
Guess we better head over there. Wendy and I were talking about precious things this morning, Alvina, and the subject of the medallion came up. I told her that you might want to talk about that with her.
As a matter of fact, Wendy, I did want to speak to you today. You know, when I was about your age, like you, I developed a great interest in the history of our people. I knew it was important to preserve this history, and I wanted to help. I had heard many tales of the gold medallion, but of course, I had never seen it. One day, to my great surprise, Winedance, who is a very old man, invited me to visit him. This is what I saw on my arrival.
The gold medallion.
Isn't it beautiful?
You know, Wendy, it was those young visitors of yours, Eleanor, Cynthia, and Edgar, that reminded me that it's about time I passed the medallion on.
But you sent them away on a false clue.
Not a false clue, Wendy. We sent them to the Peking where they should have gotten another clue, which might eventually lead them back here.
But why did you send them away?
That is the only way we have of protecting the medallion. The clue we give sends people on a great search, a very difficult search. It's certain that only very clever people with the best of intentions could find a way back. No one has ever done it yet.
I bet Eleanor, Cynthia, and Edgar will.
Perhaps they will. But that is your responsibility now.
What do you mean?
Wendy, I have decided to pass the medallion on to you. That is why I have told you all this and have shown you the medallion. Come. May it always bring you happiness.
Thank you, Grandmother. I will always treasure and keep it safe.
I'm sure you will, Wendy. But just remember, you do not own it. You are merely its custodian. Guard it and protect it carefully.
I'm sure Wendy will be a perfect custodian, Elvina. The medallion could not be in better hands.
How much longer, Edgar?
Not too much. I see the dunes up ahead.
I wonder if they'll be surprised to see us again.
Maybe not. They just might be expecting us. Well, there's one good thing anyway.
What's that?
We won't have those creeps around anymore.
Right. Hey!
What? I don't know what.
The spaceship. It's coming in. Oh, there it is.
Come on.
Oh, let's go get it.
Flying in.
Next time, Bob and Robin make their move.
Holiday, holiday, holly, holiday, holiday, holly, holiday.
It's time for the Tanabata Festival, celebrated every year by Japanese Americans on the 7th day of the 7th month. According to one legend, a husband and wife lived in the sky, but were separated by the Milky Way. This is the only day of the year they can be together. Hi, my name is Emily, and I'm on my way to the festival with my brother Paul.
Thank you. They're beautiful. You can hang them up there.
Okay. To celebrate, we first write poems on slips of paper in Japanese.
1, 2, 3.
The hard part is getting the brush to write what you want it to instead of what it wants to.
And this other one.
We also make decorations of colored paper in the shape of things from the Tanabata legend. We call this origami or paper folding.
And try not to go over. They're stars.
This is a star.
Grandma, can you hold this, hang this up?
When we finish the decorations, we hang them on bamboo branches. They're really beautiful when they wave in the wind. I like the concerts we have too, of folk music and dancing. These are the taiko drummers. There are many versions of the Tanabata legend and different ways of celebrating the holiday here and in Japan. But the important thing is that we remember our culture. It also gives our friends and neighbors a chance to learn our traditions. I'd like to share one version of the Tanabata legend with you now.
Once upon a time, there lived a family with 3 daughters in the Japanese countryside. The girls were widely known for their beauty and grace. So much so, in fact, that one day,
You must give me one of your daughters. Otherwise, I will destroy your whole family. Bring her to the lake before the sun sets tomorrow.
fear and sorrow filled the house when the father revealed the message to his daughters. Only Tanabata, the youngest, found the courage to save the family.
not fear. I am Hikoboshi, the Dragon Prince.
In a short time, Tanabata and Hikoboshi were married. A year passed in happiness until one day Hikoboshi had to leave on urgent business. He gave Tanabata a mysterious black box, but he told her never to open it unless in danger. The two sisters, full of curiosity, came for a visit. Tanabata welcomed them with pleasant surprise. She left to get tea and cakes for them. They could not contain their curiosity.
Behold, no mortal has ever entered the provinces of heaven unpunished.
Thus, Tanabata and Hikoboshi were doomed to become stars, forever separated by the wide stream of the Milky Way. Only once each year can they meet again in human form, on the 7th day of the 7th month.
don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today? Why don't you make a new friend, make a new friend, make a new friend today?
Hola, my name is Alberto Quirantes, and I'm 14 years old. I was born in Havana, Cuba, but my parents came to Miami in 1966. I go to school and I also publish a magazine, and it's called Carrusel Infantil, which means the Children's Merry-Go-Round. And it's a Spanish language magazine written by children for other children to enjoy. The magazine tries to help Cuban children hold on to our Cuban traditions, and we also feature other traditions. In my spare time, I'm known as Alquiro the Magician, and I love magic. Well, for my first trick, here we have an empty pan. Now we're gonna pour some liquid on it, and we're gonna start a fire. Now we're gonna say the magic words of Abracadabra, sin salabim, no me formes un trajín. A beautiful dove. Well, I'm glad you liked that one. And now for my second trick. Here we have a piece of blank paper and nothing in my hands. I'm gonna tear it like this, and we're gonna keep on tearing it, smaller and smaller, and now I'm gonna place it in my mouth. I would tell you how I did that, but a good magician never gives away his secrets.
This is Woody the Spoon with some information about ways to cook with imagination. It's using your head when you don't have a lot to make the most of the little you got.
We have such a nice international family here. We're going to cook also an international, very delightful dish, fondue, which keeps the people together. In Switzerland, during wartime, when everybody had out of one pot, sit together, and that's what we're going to do. We do it with tomato sauce and cheese.
Tomato sauce? I thought it was with wine in it.
It's usually made with wine. That's the old basic recipe. But since we have Ticino in the southern part of Switzerland, and where they speak Italian, and they are related to the Italians, they have developed a cheese tomato sauce fondue. We have two kinds of cheese. One is Swiss, the other one is the natural Gruyere. Have you ever tasted natural Gruyere cheese?
Yes.
Do you know Swiss cheese?
Yeah.
With the holes? Okay. We can use Italian or French bread because you should have crusts on all sides. Michael, would you please cut the bread for me?
Into slices?
Yes, please. And afterwards into quarters.
Okay.
When you cut bread, watch out for your finger because it's a sharp knife. Okay? This is cheese from Switzerland, the one with the holes. You're going to grate it for me.
Okay.
So it gives us about a cup of cheese while we do the tomato sauce.
You're going to measure it for me.
1.5 cups.
You know, Swiss winters made the bread and cheese so cold that they cut them with axes, or so I'm told. So the Swiss melted the cheese and dumped in the bread to make a hot meal. Now that's using your head.
Now you could take 2 tablespoons of this cornstarch and just mix it with the cheese.
When my mother makes pizza, she puts this kind of cheese on it.
That will be a very good pizza. Let's mix a little bit more. So all the cornstarch is good mixed.
And the cheese is finished. Do you put it in the oven?
No. Today we just will put it first the burner on the table and then bring the tomato sauce and we put the cheese into the tomato sauce.
And it
takes
melts?
a bit long and it melts as long as we have the burner very hot.
Oh, okay.
Shushu, is tomato sauce hot? Is it bubbly?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, it's just about ready. Now, you put the burner on the table for me, please. And the rest of you, clean up the table.
Excuse me again, but as a treat, fondue is best when people meet. Gathered around a pot of fondue, folks share food and company too.
All right. See, it's nice and bubbly. You will stir, and you will put in the cheese. Okay, more, just put it in and he will keep stirring. Always, when you work around fire, you should watch out. Have a good steady pot and always hold it. Very good. Just keep put it in. You see how it melts?
It looks like Spanish rice and sauce.
It's nearly like a pizza. Now, everybody takes 1 handful of this bread onto the plate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You take some. And you could measure 1 teaspoon of oregano. This is the spice which goes into the fondue. Now you put the chunks, now this time it's bread, onto the fork. Always make sure that the crust is outside. You go right ahead and you get ready to eat. I guess everybody will be hungry by now. You don't need specially a fondue pot. You can take any kind of pot. But what is good if you have a burner? Because it really should be on the table so everybody can sit around like a happy family. You like it, huh? Mm-hmm. You also have to keep the fondue moved so it doesn't stick to the bottom. And then twirl it so it cools it off so you don't burn your mouth.
Well, we cooked the food and it came out fine. You can try it yourself when you got the time. Because working in the kitchen is a lot of fun. And when you're finished, you can eat what you've done.
Hi, kids. It's the old black cat here to tell you where everything's at. About monkeys, zebras, and elephants, too. There's a bebop favor especially for you. One day, a hungry little bird looked and looked for some bugs to eat. Not only was he having a tough time walking through the tall grass, but he wasn't finding anything to eat. Just as he was about to give up and go home and try to sleep on an empty stomach, he came upon a big gray thing with bugs all over it. As the hungry little bird was about to start eating, this big gray thing moved. The big gray thing turned out to be a very annoyed rhinoceros. Everybody tries to take advantage of me because I can't see too well. The frightened little bird quickly explained he simply wanted to eat some bugs. That's wonderful. All these insects are bugging me. The two of them made a deal. The hungry little bird would eat the bugs who pestered the rhinoceros, and the rhinoceros would carry the bird through the tall grass on his back, where the bird could be a lookout for his newfound weak-eyed friend. Each had a lot of trouble when they lived alone, but together they lived happily ever after.
What would you do if you? How would you feel if you? What would you do and how would you feel?
Hey, Susan. Hi, Ernesto. Want to come over at my house for dinner tonight? Some friends are coming over, and my mom said I can invite you, too.
Sure. I like your mother's cooking. Is she making noodles again?
No, not tonight. We're going to have calamares.
Calamares? What's that?
You know, squid and rice. It's good, and they use the egg to make the sauce.
What would you do if you were invited to a friend's house and thought you weren't going to like the food?
It wouldn't be nice to say that you didn't like it, so I try to eat as much as I can.
I'd go over to the house and try the food, and if I didn't like it, I'd pretend to. I'd go home and I'd get my own food.
I tell their parents I'm sorry to put them through the trouble, but I just don't like the food.
What would you do?
Get right into the vegetable soup. Get right in on the morning. Get right in, come on and right us around. Get right into the vegetable soup. Take all kinds of vegetables. Take all kinds of vegetables. Take all kinds of vegetables to make a vegetable soup.